Welcome to episode 6 of Quarantine Questions with Jack Heron. I'm here with Florida State commit Sardaar Calhoun. Sardaar, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be on with my main man, my big bro Jack. Got me in the building.
Now,
I'm down.
I'm really excited to have Sardaar on today because of all the kids that I've covered, if there's one kid who deserves everything that he's gotten right now, it's this kid right here. He's been a great kid. He's been a really hard worker, and he's now seeing everything start to come his way. So, Sardaar, just a little background on him. Sardaar is a Virginia native. He's from originally Essex High School, right?
Yep, Essex High School.
Essex High School. Then you went to Blue Ridge. Then you spent a couple years at Missouri Plains Southwest.
Missouri State.
Missouri State. Yeah,
yes, sir.
That's fine. That's it.
Are you good?
I got it wrong again. So he spent the last 2 years there and became one of the top Juco prospects in the country and recently committed to Florida State. So let's get right into it, Sardaar. I mentioned, your early career, you were at Essex High School in the Northern Net. For those who don't know much about that, it's not the biggest area in Virginia. But there as he is an example, there are some hoopers out of that area. Just tell me, how did coming from there help fuel you and make you into the basketball player you are today?
It definitely fueled me, and because I had a passion for it. When you have a passion behind something, you'll do anything by all means to get to the top. And I was big. I know how to promote myself. Some kids don't know how to promote themselves in the right way or know how to get their name out. So my mom, I'm blessed with a mom that loves to go above and beyond. I emailed so many schools, and I knew I needed to reclass because I wasn't ahead of the curve at the time as other athletes. So when I found out a good school like Blue Ridge would reclass, and also academics was great there, it was a no-brainer to go there. But from being from a small town, though, it definitely gave me a chip on the shoulder to keep going because so many people root for you because everyone knows you,
Yeah, so you speaking of heading to Blue Ridge, you went there and you reclassified as you stated. Just how did your experience there help you as a player, both from on the court and off the court?
Honestly, it was one of the biggest, blessings because Blue Ridge is like almost like college. It's like college. We had morning workouts, we had individuals, we had meal prep, we had a strength and conditioning coach, we had academic advisors. So it prepared me, at a young age for what the college experience is like. And so most high schoolers don't get that, So me starting from Northern Neck and jumping into that was a big adjustment, but I was ready for it, I had a passion for basketball and to get better. And the thing about the program at Blue Ridge is getting better. Like Mike Gray, he's a real good talent. There's so many kids on the team, and Ty's own little brother, Derek Jones. Coach K, he recruits the best. You know what I mean?
So you mentioned that it was a big adjustment. Tell me a little bit about how that adjustment went for you. Was it a little tough at the beginning? What did you have to learn through the process?
It wasn't tough at all. We had so many good people on the team. It actually was easy. If I made a mistake, we had I still tell people to this day, I've never seen a better scorer than Darius McGee.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mark me if I'm wrong. I've never seen someone that scored the ball better than him. But it was fun. I had 4 coaches on the coaching staff that loved the players. We played the best competition in the country. It was big. I enjoyed it at Blue Ridge.
So after your 2 years at Blue Ridge, you had some schools that had been recruiting you throughout the process, and a few of them had shown some interest, but none of them really pulled the trigger. Why do you think that that you didn't get the recruitment out of high school that you get now?
I was real honest with people. That's one thing about the recruitment process. You got to be honest with coaches. You just can't hide around the bush. You know what I'm saying? Say maybe I want to go there and waste people's time. I don't like for someone to waste my time. So I wouldn't waste anyone's time at that. So I think some of the schools, I wasn't picky, but I also was I wasn't ready to settle yet. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I knew how good I was in my head, and I knew that like I work hard to get where I'm at. You know, like you said in the beginning. Yeah, if anyone deserves it, I think I deserve it. You know, but I think I was kind of stunned because I worked so hard and didn't get the things I got. But I knew, you know, I'm a believer in God. You know, if you wait patiently, good things come. So when I went to JUCO, I felt like that was a good route for me.
So you had some schools that were showing you some interest. They maybe not have been the ones you wanted, but
Mm-hmm.
what were some of the schools that, just to put in perspective, out of high school, what were some of the schools that you maybe had an option to play in college?
I had opportunity to play at Radford, uh, Charlotte, UNCG, East Tennessee State, um, Mount St. Mary's, and JMU.
And how close were you to maybe choosing one of those instead of choosing the JUCO route?
Coach Forbes at East Tennessee, he almost got me. He's really good. You know, his program is top notch. He almost got me. And you know, if I wouldn't have gone JUCO, I think I'd have probably gone there with Coach Forbes and
Yeah, it's a
Coach
great
Savage.
program they got there.
Yeah, they got a real good program.
Yeah, so a lot of people will talk about the JUCO route, and there are a ton of people who are advocates for it, but I don't think enough people really know what life at a JUCO is really like. I mean, you've got documentaries like Last Chance U that sort of show a little bit of it, but just tell me a little bit about the daily grind of a JUCO. What are the positives of going JUCO, and what are some of the things that people don't realize you got to put up
I think the good thing is about anything with like when you're with a group of people who are trying to work towards something, you always have great memories, you know, just having that bond. And plus I'm not at like one of the best JUCOs in the country. So I got a lot of teammates that's still unsigned. And, you know, it's a long process. You know, if you really love basketball, it'll definitely show if you really love it because you got to play that waiting game. It's a 1,000 other JUCO guys in the country. You only get a couple of showcase event games. The tough thing about JUCO is it's probably it's you see me, I'm not a complainer, so it's not many tough things that come my way that I'll express. But I think the thing is patience, you know. You just got to stick to the grind. You may not have the grind access. Like I had at Blue Ridge, I had everything, but when I got to JUCO, it wasn't everything I had at Blue Ridge. So that was one of the things that I struggled with, you know.
So tell me what is a JUCO season typically like? I mean, I know that there's people seem to think that either like all JUCOs are really good or all JUCOs are really bad.
Yeah.
Like tell me about like the parity and just the grind of the season.
You got jamboree games, so jamborees actually help. You know, like high school jamborees and like the beginning of the year, it's also like same thing in JUCO. You'll see everyone in the country. You know, it's some this year with JUCO, it was some really good prospects. We had some guys go to the NBA. You got some guys go to SEC, Big 12, everywhere in the country. You know, but the season is like you play the jamboree games, and then you don't have Thanksgiving break. But every JUCO has to have that winter break so you're off campus for 2 weeks. So you kind of, if you're not grinding those 2 weeks while you're home for Christmas break, you kind of get behind the curve. And you only get one. It's only a select team of I don't know how many that get to Hutch for the championship. So, and you know, if your team doesn't get the Hutch, you kind of don't get that exposure like you need. And plus, one of the big things is location-wise. No coach is gonna come to a place that the airport is like 3 hours away. You know, that's hard to recruit a kid when you're trying to make pit stop and go somewhere else. You know, so that was one of the things at my JUCO that a lot of coaches couldn't get to some of our players because the airport is like 2 hours away. You know, that's in the way for coaches. Yeah, and it costs $30,000 to fuel a jet. You know, so
that's nothing to some of these coaches, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's 30,000.
So, you seem to just kind of blow up overnight, man. It's like every time I got on Twitter, it was Sardaar Calhoun got offered by this Big Ten school, and Sardaar Calhoun got offered by this AC. You were pulling in 3-4 offers a day. At what point did that really start to happen, and what do you think was the main reason that you started to just kind of blow up overnight?
I think it's just who I am. I'm a good kid. I think every every coach program doesn't want to hassle like for a kid who's not hard headed, but just kind of not what the team needs. When I was on the phone with every coach, I kind of moved to the top of the chart, not by skill, but just who I am. I'm a mature guy. But it kind of happened. I kind of blew up early in the Juco process my freshman year, because my freshman year I was supposed to be a qualifier, but one of my classes didn't transfer over to my my transcript, and so I had an online class that couldn't. So they told me I had to come back for another year, because the first school that offered me my freshman year was Minnesota. So that kind of blew up in the JUCO world, like a freshman getting offered by a Big Ten school. That's big. And so after that, it kind of hit the fire after that.
So if everything had gone according to plan, would you have only probably gone to your JUCO for 1 year, or did you plan on doing 2 the whole time?
Yeah, I planned on doing 1. Yeah, that was the goal, to do 1 year at JUCO. But when good things come to people who wait,
Mm-hmm. And you talked about some of the jamborees and stuff. I mean, I saw there was tape of you matched up with Jay Scrubb, the guy you were talking about that ended up going to he's entered the NBA draft.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what was the atmosphere for that game, and how did you approach it? Because I know you had a really good game that day.
Yeah, that actually was like a really good game. It was a good game because it was so competitive. Everyone knew, like, it's ACC versus ACC, and like one of the top players versus another top player. But the funny thing about that game is Jay Scrubb was not missing the first half. He was not missing. Like, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm on everything, and I struggled in the first half. So like the second half came around, I almost dunked on their 7-footer, and so that kind of fueled me up. When I got to the free throw line, I think I probably hit like all my 8 next shots in a row. Not in a row, but I hit like 8. And when we went to overtime, I hit the clutch shot. But the atmosphere of that game was big because every coach in America was there. And I think some coaches stopped recruiting, just wanted to see a good game too.
Mm-hmm.
So that was big. That was a fun experience.
That's awesome, man. So, you ended up choosing Florida State. You chose it pretty early in the season, right?
Yeah.
So what were some of the other schools that you were like heavily considering before you chose Florida State?
I was heavily considering Seton Hall. I think Seton Hall probably out of all the schools probably needed me most, because who they're losing, and Miles Powell's like a really good player. Mm-hmm. And I felt like if I'd have went there, I would not stepped in those shoes right away. And no person can fit the shoes Miles Powell has created. But I felt like I would have matured myself in that role, but I would only have 2 years to do it, so that was not enough time. Seton Hall was a school. I really liked NC State and LSU, but I just didn't have those in my top 5 because I don't know, it wasn't any like an issue or anything, but I just couldn't see myself going there at the time. Plus, recruiting boards, they had a lot of guys recruiting, so I didn't know who was committing. Plus, I wanted to commit early so I could focus on my season.
So what was your top 5 that you had?
My top 5 was Florida State, Seton Hall, Texas, Alabama. Is that 5?
It's 4.
4. Ooh.
Seton Hall, Texas, Florida State, Alabama.
And Georgia. Georgia was one of the schools that I was heavily considering as well. I enjoyed the conversation with Coach Crean. I really did.
And what was the reasoning behind you choosing Florida State? Why did you choose them over all those other great schools?
Man, my official visit was like, it wasn't like anything crazy like you seen He Got Game or something when He Got Game went to his official visit. But it was just the brotherhood there it wasn't faked like we have a recruit on campus and you know what I mean? Like everyone showed a smile. It was so genuine. Like, I didn't want to leave my official visit. Like after my first day, and like the coaches like weren't like Coach Smith or Coach CY or Coach Ham or Coach Jones. They weren't like trying to hassle me like, you need to come in here. They just showed me a good time, asked me questions. They really enjoyed my family, and I was the only person on my visit, so they focused on me. It was just where I needed to be. And then watching them throughout the season, you know what I'm saying? Like they won games off the strength of their energy, and I'm an energy guy. Like I love to bring joy to the game. So that right there was a big exclamation point on why I needed to be there. And the brotherhood is crazy.
So take us through a little bit of your official visit, because I feel like a lot of people, like you said, they have this odd thought that just like it's all chaos, but it's actually a really organized thing that you go through. What was your official visit like there?
I met with everyone I needed to meet. I met with the strength and condition coach, Coach Bradley. He really grasped my attention. They don't get players don't really get hurt there. They out of the 18 seasons, I think Coach Ham's been there. I think he's only had like one ACL injury. And then like the academic support there was great. I met all the people I needed to meet with that. I think the campus really blew me away too. I mean, I think the weather, like Tallahassee, Florida, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the best spots in Florida. And it was just like the football game was nice. And I'm naming all the things that kids look forward to going, but that time I spent with the whole team and my family was there, like the guys are amazing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're really good guys. Like, you might see some guys that be like on their phone or something. Like, you can tell like the coach can't wait till this guy like decide to transfer or something. There was no guys like that. And like the guys who like who don't get much playing time, they didn't hold their heads down. They probably have more fun than the guys who play. It's just amazing. You gotta come one day. It's amazing.
I'll try to make my way down there to see you play, man.
Yes, sir, man.
So let's move on. I want to do a little rapid fire questions that I've been doing with all my guests. So it's gonna be 5 questions. Just answer them how you feel. What's your favorite pregame food?
Pregame food. I don't know if you know them, but the Uncrustables, like the little peanut butter and jelly, and like I ate 2 of those and a little crate of chocolate milk.
Man, that's about as school cafeteria as you get right there.
Yeah, I mean the little sandwiches, 300 calories, so they fill me up.
All right, what's your favorite basketball movie?
I'm gonna have to go with Juwanna Mann. Juwanna Mann is a classic in my household. That's funny too.
That's the first time someone said that one to me.
Juwanna Mann, that's a funny movie.
Who's your GOAT, man? Who's the best basketball player of all time?
Kobe Bryant, in my opinion.
I can't be mad at that. What's your favorite thing to do outside of basketball?
I would say like jogging. I'm a big jogger. I like to run. I like to condition, but outside of, say for example, like basketball, I know conditioning is probably part of basketball, but probably I got a big thing for photography. I got a good eye for that. So that's probably one of the things I like to do, enjoy my phone, take good pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. And what is your best basketball memory?
My best one, most people don't notice, is probably the time I played with Team Loaded on the 17U team, and the team was stacked. I enjoyed that team like crazy. And we were playing in Vegas, and all the celebrities were out there. And one time I got in the game and I seemed nervous, and Damian Lillard was sitting like on the front row, and like I had said something. He was like, and he said, no, I didn't say anything. I had did something. He was like, man, just shoot it, man. And then after that, I was just like, whoa, what? Damian Lillard just told me, just shoot it, man. So that was one of my favorite basketball memories when Damian Lillard told me, just shoot it, man.
Man, that team you guys had was crazy.
Yeah, I know that. See all the guys and what they're doing now. It's pretty wicked.
Yeah. So final question for the Florida State fans out there. What can they expect from you coming in next year?
A good kid, an energy bringer, and I think just a good, I don't, express myself, I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but a winner, man. Like, I love to win by all means. I'll dive on the floor with glass over there to win. That's one of the things that you have to do when you sacrifice to win. You got to do things that you don't feel comfortable doing. And that's one thing. You got to be comfortable doing uncomfortable things. And I just think one of those things is just winning. I just can't wait to win. I want to win a national championship this year so bad.
I hear you, man. Well, no, I'll be rooting for you. I got to get some Florida State gear so I can rep you guys. But hey, man, I appreciate you taking your time and being on here, man. I'm proud of you and everything that you've accomplished, and I really look forward to watching you play at the next level, man.
Yes, sir, my man. Peace, brother.
Peace out, dog. Thank you.
Yes, sir.